What's your biggest value in life? What do you value more than anything else?
My family.
Yeah. And of all the things that you've had a breakthrough in this program, what's your favourite breakthrough that you've had so far?
My favourite breakthrough is that I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And then I eat, and that sounds really weird to most people. And I'm working in the health industry. I always deal with people who want to lose weight, but everyone ignores the ones who end up underweight or struggle to gain. And I've always been skinny, and always struggled to be hungry. I don't get hunger pains. I can forget to eat for a day, sometimes 2 days, and literally haven't eaten anything. Maybe a couple of cups of tea.
Yeah.
But it's not intentional.
So would you say that there's a lack of resources with gaining weight in society?
Yeah. No one, anytime I would complain to anyone that my trousers were falling off, that I'd lost my butt and everything, it's like, oh God, I wish I was you, or you can have some of mine.
Yeah.
There was never any sympathy, and it was
no validation.
I very much came up against, you can't complain.
Yeah.
Because you're fine, even though my period stopped. So my body wasn't fine because it couldn't work, it couldn't function.
Yeah. So society in other modalities, counselling, psychology, other conscious modalities and personal development, you just were pretty much invalidated by this was a problem for you.
Yeah, this has been going on since I was about 10.
Yeah.
And I know when I was about 17, I'd seen a counsellor, and I was often starving myself on purpose as a control thing, not as much of what I looked like, other than I had to have a muscly stomach. And I got advised, look, instead of not eating, why don't you just make yourself sick so you actually eat something, and hopefully some of it will stay, and just get into that pattern instead. Luckily, I wasn't so far down the rabbit hole that when I heard that, I immediately went to my mum, who's a nurse, and said, okay, I don't like that person. They're telling me to do something else, and I know that that's bad. And so just stopped with them, and then never dealt with it. So even the professionals didn't really see, because I wasn't making myself really ill. The most I ever got was people thought I might have a drug problem. I looked a bit gaunt and grey, but it was never.
So nothing ever tailored to your needs in the past before.
No.
And how quickly did you produce a result in NLP with this particular context?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. How long have you? And so you struggled with this for like 30 years.
38 years.
38 years, and in 15 minutes something was tailored to you in the Master Practitioner program. And now that you've had that unconscious reprogramming, what's life like for you?
For the first time in my life, not just from sort of being 10, but all my life, I was never really hungry. My tummy actually growls. Yeah. Which sounds like a weird thing to say, but when I haven't experienced that. Yeah. And I was actually eating crisps when it did growl. And I was like, I'm hungry, and wanted food. Now, the old state that I was would have seen, well, I am eating food. This is enough. Yeah. I would smash a pack of biscuits quite happily, or a big family bag of crisps. I'd do that, and then that was my food. Yeah. But that's not enough, and it wasn't a craving. I didn't stop craving that. I would go to the cupboards, and when that happened, I moved the crisps and immediately made myself a sandwich and some soup, because there wasn't enough. I needed a lot of substance, a lot of something. Nutrition. Yeah, and that was never there. I never looked at, although I worked around nutrition, so I knew how to, okay, well, I need certain vegetables and certain this, that and the other, so I could kind of push that in, like where needed. I'd have a bit of fruit and stuff like that, and convince myself that, well, that's all right, I'm fine. And because society pushed, there's only a problem if you're big.
Yeah.
You're not big, there's no problem, you're fine.
Even
Stop
though
complaining.
you felt within yourself that you were really nutritionally depleted and really starving for substance and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And so how long has it been since you've had this breakthrough?
2 weeks.
Have you had any positive feedback from any family members or anything like that?
My mum, FaceTime her in the UK, and quite a few times she'd say, Anna, you look so thin in your face, you look so gaunt, I'm really worried about you.
And when was this?
Sleeping. So this is over the past month or so.
Yeah.
And then, so that's what I was having with her. Within about 4 or 5 days after I cleared that, she said, you're looking really well, you're eating then. And I was like, oh, am I? And I wasn't even aware. It's not something, I assumed that if you're getting taught something that you're conscious of it, but you're not getting taught anything.
Yeah, it's about unconscious modality.
Yeah, so it was just, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am hungry and I am that. And there was never any connection either to weight gain or weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
So my natural cravings weren't any
Acknowledge.
food. It was just, I want healthy foods, whole foods. It also changed how I was treating my 2-year-old. Before, from when she first started weaning, I would make little meals for her. And then I kind of started using that as an excuse. I think, oh, well, she's got her meals, I'll feed her, I'll eat later. And I've noticed that stopped.
Yeah.
Or pretty much. It's a couple of big spoonfuls extra of whatever I'm making. And
For
she'll
yourself.
eat with, and then she's eating with me.
So you get to connect with her now. And
yeah, and she wants that because she's looking at what have you got, because for the past few weeks she kept not eating, and I don't know if that was she was picking up on mummy doesn't eat so I don't need to eat, or whether it was you're giving me baby meals still that's more mashed and there's no flavour and I don't like this now.
So she's getting curious about food like you are.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel that she's role modelling the healthier version of you?
A lot more pride.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel almost shameful.
Yeah.
That she could have gone my way.
Yeah. And what are these tears? Is this relief?
Very much so.
Yeah. That now she has a really healthy role model that's going to teach her how to
Yeah.
love herself and feel her full of nutrition.
Yeah, and that's it. It's I didn't realise it had anything to do with self-love. I'd always used the excuse of, I just don't get hungry. And in fact, I would show off at that. Mm-hmm. That was like, I don't eat
my superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone's response was, I wish I was like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'm so hungry. And
you're proud of how hungry you are. Yeah.
I can't stop telling people how hungry I am. I probably sound weird.
Yeah.
But for me, that's a huge breakthrough. And even my partner, Pete, he's noticed.
Yeah. So mum's noticed, Pete's noticed, baby's noticed.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone's noticed their breakthrough. And in the context of honouring yourself and not feeling guilty for putting yourself at least an equal playing field, if not putting yourself first and then adding extra for baby, right? How do you feel about honouring yourself unconsciously and not even having to put conscious effort into it, just being aware of it?
That you don't have to feel guilty. I don't feel guilty putting me first. I used to in the aspect of if you're in a plane and it's crashing and you need to put your mask on first, I would have always put her mask on first and then the person next to me, everyone's mask on and then my own. By that point I'm dead. Mm-hmm.
So you can't pour from an empty cup.
No.
Good. And